Wait. Oh man, I got some whatever that is on it already. Oh, it's probably from doing them freaking drifts. Sheesh. Give my good side. That's a good side. Yeah, I'm hype. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gender neutral people, this is the Big Boost Turbo. This is the biggest one you can get, 3.4. I'm assuming there's no one bigger than this. I think this is a 70 millimeter Master Power Turbo. Now, I know a little bit about this kit, not a lot, so I'm gonna unbox it. This thing is kind of heavy. I'm gonna unbox it and show you guys what the kit comes with, how much I paid, and I don't know, other stuff that comes into my mind. And will I install it myself or not? Pardon the outfit. Y'all know I'm used to my sweatpants, but I had to get fancy on y'all, fancy turbo, fancy mic. Anyway, yeah, so look how big this sucker is. And this is a dual ball bearing. I know Big Boost started out with journal. Maybe one side was ball bearing, the other side was journal. But this is dual ball bearing ceramics. This kit, to my knowledge, is specific to the electronic wastegates car. And this one costs a tad bit more money. The pneumatic wastegate ones for the 2013 N55s and below. Anything above 2014, you got electric wastegate. In layman's terms, pneumatic wastegate is controlled by air and electric wastegate is controlled by electricity. Let's take a look at this turbo. I had full intentions of installing it myself because I did not want to pay install prices, and plus I could make videos for you guys, two birds with one stone. However, once I show you that what all this kit comes with in this box, I kind of started to second guess myself because it's a lot of little pieces. Now, mainly the turbo just bolts on from the exhaust, to the exhaust. It makes sense. Just turbo exhaust manifold setup is easy, but those little oil and coolant lines and reposition and stuff like that, that is what confuses me a little bit about installing a bigger turbo, because essentially the turbo that is in the car now is a little baby Borg Warner, and this is almost, I would say, maybe a little close to double the size of that turbo. Don't quote me on that, but maybe a little closer to about double the size of that turbo. And that little baby Borg Warner fits in there nice and tight, but now we have to cram this big giant thing in there, which might require us to move around some parts of the engine bay, engine or whatever. And given the fact that I have no lift, I'm not sure if I want to get involved in that. I pretty much know the shop I'm going to take it to, but if you have any recommendations, go ahead and put them down below. Let me know what you guys think, and I don't know, I'll get a quote from them. I'll let you guys know how much they said they want to charge me for it, and let me film it will be a plus. Obviously not at all, but at least certain snippets and clips, so I can show you guys how the turbo works. Now this right here is, it's like the nitty gritty. This is all the little piping and confusing parts. The turbo is actually supplied by Master Power, which is really not Big Boost, but it's Master Power actually. I'll put a link up or down below of what exact turbo it is from Master Power. But the Big Boost kit comes with all the Big Boost specific piping and stuff. Now, to my knowledge, these are made in shop. Unboxing this is gonna be a lot harder than I thought. It's a lot of plastic. Don't let me lie to you and tell you I know what the hell this is. I don't know. I'm gonna try to piece together for you guys. So, I know this is the downpipe. That's one thing I do know. By the way, my catalyst downpipe for electric wastegate 4-inch catalyst downpipe by VRSF is officially for sale because, well, never gonna need it again. I'm using this one. This is, yo, you know my car is about to be like a beast, right? You do realize that. Like, you do realize, like, this is not like I got a tune and just like, well, technically this is a bolt-on part, but like, this is like fast stuff, you know? This is not, I just put boot mode on and I'm quick now. This is quick. So basically, one part I know for a fact is this is where the downpipe goes. See? And the V-band clamp sits right here. And it goes out to the exhaust, hence the hot side. Make sense? So the old manifold goes off. This goes on. Now I am a little pissed off because I thought I was gonna have I should have worn gloves for this. I thought I was gonna have a nice little hole at the top where I could have an external wastegate. I'm not sure if maybe the electronic wastegates don't come with the external. This is what I pretty much primarily figured would be easy for me to install. All that stuff in the box is a pain in the neck. So the reason I chose this kit over the Pure Stage 2 kit is because of the manifold. There are some differences there are a lot of differences. The main one being is the back pressure in the stock OEM manifolds do pretty well for the stock turbo side, but once you bore it in there, once you bore it out a little bit and put a bigger turbine wheel in there, you get a little more back pressure. You can't crank up the power that much, or else it does a lot of damage to the motor. Second thing is that this is a actual turbo kit. It's actually a turbo replacement. Pure is more of a hybrid turbo, so it uses the same housing, same manifold, same everything. They just bore out the insides of the turbo a little bit and cram a bigger wheel in there. I'm not saying it's bad, I'm not saying it's unreliable, but if you want to make big power, you need something bigger. You need a bigger turbo. So this is it right here. And trust me, the Pure turbos will probably be enough power for a lot of people. They go up to with good tuning, I think about 550, and that's good for a lot of people. But I'm kind of at 400 wheel already. 150 wheel, $2,500 plus core and all that stuff like that. I paid $3,700 for this kit. Don't cringe behind me. This kit cost me $3,700. A lot of money. When you actually think about how much money I spend, it's fucking unreal. Big amount of change for this $3,700. So down below is the GoFundMe link if you guys are interested. Yeah, so basically this is the big deal. This is if you want to get the serious power of these N55s. This is one of the first big turbo kits that they come out of these. I know you have Doc Racing, which is really expensive. You have Speed Tech, which is really expensive. This is probably the cheapest kit, and it cost me a couple $100 extra because because I had the electric wastegate. Apparently, the electric and pneumatic wastegate turbo kits are a little bit different. The Big Boost 3.4 pneumatic, as everybody knows, is $29.50. I don't know why this was extra $700. Maybe Juan could tell me. Maybe I'll ask him. Who knows? Anyway, on with that. With the proper tuning and engine work, you can crack into about, I want to say, 800 wheelish horsepower. Now, don't quote me on that, and don't think I'm going to do that yet. I got to get this puppy on, see what I'm working with, find a tuner that I feel comfortable with, and then we'll really crank up the power, make sure I hook pretty good, because I have rear-wheel drive. So, yeah. Anyway, big boost like me. Now, I'm assuming they made these hoses themselves, or they just put their stamp on it, but these look pretty high quality. This is like real deal Holyfield stuff. Like, this is when you pop the hood and you see people working with stuff that look like this, run. Nah, I'm joking. But anyway, so we have the C-clamps, little hoses, various. I have no clue where these go. As of now, all of them go different places, obviously. So yeah, you're gonna get several ones of these. The quality on it is like top notch. You can look at the inside right here. The clamps, they look like regular clamps. Decent quality. My man Juan gave me a Ziploc bag with a whole bunch of little tiny things in it. Now I'm assuming these are oil lines, AM fittings, and little things like that. Water pump spacers written on here. So yeah, little things. These are the oil feed, N55. That's the motor I have, obviously. If you guys don't know that by now and you're a subscriber, shame on you. I'll open some of this stuff up. So to make things easier on myself explaining, and to make things easier, like I said, half the stuff don't make it in the videos. So scratch everything I said before. This looks a whole lot better, no?
Yeah.
A lot more organized. So I've split things up in the order of metal piping, exhaust manifold, hoses and clamps, an extra hose. Gotta have the hose. Plural. And downpipe, turbo, and little miscellaneous nuts and bolts for oil feed, water pump spacer, and I think wastegate mount. So this is what you get with the kit. Now, I mean, we know this is like a Ziploc bag. Does it really matter? Not really. I would have done the same thing. I mean, the quality of the part is what really matters to me, not what bag it comes in, if that makes sense, you know what I mean? The bad part is that all this stuff is going to have to go back in the box because it ain't going in the car today. I have a couple things I got to do. First thing I got to do is I got to put the downpipe back on the car to take it to get its emissions done. Once I get all checked and clear for the emissions, I'm going to go ahead and have this installed. Once again, I will post that GoFundMe link. What do you think? What do you think? I did it. I did it. First big turbo car ever. For me. First. Big turbo. Yo, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Porsche 911 turbo after this. It's gonna be bad. You know that, right? Think about it, right? Let me get the Porsche 911 turbo, right? Okay. And like a year later, the same exact thing you're gonna see, like, you know what I mean? Like, just for a different car. What do you think about that? What are my expectations, power-wise? I'm gonna be all the way honest with you guys. I'm gonna spill the beans. If I could pull 620 out of it, just in the chill mode, I'm good. Now, obviously, we're gonna crank it up for a kill mode to see how much power we can squeeze out of this thing before stuff starts to grenade. But in all reality, I'm happy with 620 wheel, and I'm talking about like a comfortable 620 wheel. You know, no real internals and stuff like that. We might get crazy down the line with that, depending on how far the itch goes. This is just, I had to get this out of the way because I've been sitting on this kit for a couple days, and I had to inform you guys, update you guys. I haven't really seen a lot of big boost content out there. I haven't really seen a lot of performance content out there for BMWs. Everybody pretty much displays the stage 2 full bolt-ons, which by no means is a bad thing. These cars make a ton of power, and 400 wheel is pretty much all you would need. I see a lot of B58s out there pulling some crazy numbers. The Super pulling some crazy numbers. I have considered even getting a car with a B58. However, I figure I might as well just keep this car, pay it off, and just do tons of crazy stuff with it. Makes sense, right? Yeah. You know, I only paid 26 grand for this car. Like, that's 26 grand. That's a good deal. You know? So I still didn't even reach the price of a M4 yet. This turbo kit and all the other things that I've done, comparable. Because somebody could go find me an 80,000 mile M4 and, oh yeah, but what about this one? It's 35 grand. Yeah, bro, got like 80, 90,000 miles on this. Probably been beat to crap. So I'm not asking about that. I'm saying comparable to comparable. You know, a 2015 M4 with same amount of mileage and everything like that. You're going to pay double. You know, I bought mine at what, 40-something thousand miles. You're going to pretty much pay double for the car. You know what I mean? So insurance and everything like that too as well. And this is a funner route for me. This is a little bit better of a route. I get to go ahead and put a big single turbo on the car, crank the boost up. I'm happy. I'm happy. This is my first real build like that, because the first car I really built power-wise was the 5 Series, and you know, I started going into tuning and stuff like that as the first for that first rear-wheel drive, everything like that. I've always lowered my car stuff, but this right here is the meat and potatoes. This is where it gets real. You know that, right? This is power right here. That's what we're looking at. Can't stop thinking about it. Anyway, but yeah, don't get me wrong. I still like the way the M's look. They look aggressive. You guys just sound like crap. When I get this put in, some of you guys see me on the highway. It's not gonna be good for you. I can guarantee that. Why are you laughing at me for?
I don't know.
But no, in all seriousness, I know I'm just mumbling and rambling right now, just kind of taking it all in. I can't really put together a real thing right now because it hasn't settled. You know what I mean? It hasn't settled in of everything. I just tell you the plans, the hopes, the dreams, the goals of what's going to happen with this car. And yeah, that's pretty much it for now. Big power things don't do as good as stance nation and all that stuff. Which is why I consider going bag, but I figure once I throw the bags on, once I air out a couple times, it'll probably get old to me. This right here, every time you get on the gas pedal, you get on the highway, it's a brand new experience every day. When you hit air out in your car, you know it's gonna go to the ground, you know what I mean? But when you hit boost, you get on a slippy road, or you catch grip, or it's just every day is gonna be a different experience with this thing, you know what I mean? You might hook and book as they call it, or you might spin. They spinning ain't winning. Another thing too, I know y'all seen that video of my boy Steve and his E550 pulling on me in that little twin turbo V8, right? That's not gonna happen anymore, Steve. Alright? I hate to break it to you. AJ, that M4 that you got, that nice little tuned M4, not gonna happen again. Now, AJ also got a 2JZ Supra with a big turbo. I put a link to the picture of the turbo he's on me, so I ain't gonna talk too much crap. But AJ, bring them 4 out, it ain't happening.
You're so excited.
I know, I'm happy. I'm happy, but I'm also kind of, all this gotta go back in the box. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a lot of stuff. But I'm excited. Definitely gonna get a shop to do it. Let him do it. At least I know that it's gonna be done right the first time, and if it's not, the shop will take care of it, and it's not my responsibility. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to get all the way into this. And one of the things that I found out about these turbos, and I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be like this, but a lot of this stuff isn't tight. Everything on here is hand tightened. So, me being me, all excited and happy to make some power, I would have just threw all this on and realized that everything was loose. Like I did with my brother's engine. We rebuilt my brother's engine, and half the bolts that I put in was loose because I didn't think about it. I didn't torque it down, so we had to take the head back off and everything and redo it. Yeah. I'll put the link to that video. A lot of people haven't even seen that video, the engine build video. You ever seen it in my brother's car, the 5 Series? I'll put the link in. We kind of redid the valve, something on the head. I'll put that in, a little quick snippet, way back in the beginning. I do not know already. I already have the LSD in there. Already got some sticky tires on there, so it's hooking up pretty good now. I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty confident that with this base power level that I'm looking for, with no additional fuel and everything like that, I'll be still hooking. However, when I add the additional fueling, not sure which route I want to go yet, but we're gonna need to make some changes. The car will be lowered too for all you Stand Station guys. I'm gonna lower the car. I got the springs. It might actually be lowered because I'm gonna do that myself. It might actually be lowered before the turbo kit comes on. I have to take care of that dent, which by the way, I'm gonna show you guys the progress on the damage on the 435. I'm gonna tell you guys how much they quoted me to repair it. And yeah, we'll move on from there. It's actually a lot cheaper than I thought it was. Maximum slow speed, we out of here for right now until I fast forward to the other part.